5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Janet Jackson is in the news, and she made some jaw-dropping claims in an interview with The Guardian, saying that she also didn't know that Kamala Harris was black. And people, the media, they're trying to cancel Janet Jackson. Stupid, to say the least. Shout out to everybody watching. Drop your comments down below. Smash a like button if you kindly would. Janet Jackson did an interview with The Guardian the other day, and here is the recap of the article. So Janet Jackson has claimed that Kamala Harris is not black, and the Democrat 2024 presidential nominee has a white father, which we'll get into here in a little bit. But Janet Jackson made a shocking assertion in an interview with The Guardian when asked about her feelings about the United States having the first black president. First off, that was your initial mistake, asking musicians and pop stars what their personal political stance is. It's silly to me. Well, she goes on to say, well, you know, they supposedly said, the singer said, she's not black. That's what I heard. She's Indian. And people are in an absolute thunderstorm, squeezing their butt cheeks because Janet Jackson says this. And I don't get why the media makes a big deal out of this. A, she's a pop star. She's an artist. She's a musician. She's a singer. And why don't they ask Taylor Swift what her policies is? And then they'll have an equal argument on whatever the freak Taylor Swift says. That's just my personal opinion. But here is the interesting thing. Whoopi, you guys remember Whoopi, the from the 1980s film The Predator.
Oh, hold on. No. Yeah, she's got a phone. Janet Jackson is not a political animal.
There we go.
She does. She's a musician. Her life is doing this, and she's mourning her brother. So
that's right.
I am. You know, I sometimes have said stuff, and you know, I was wrong.
You said a lot of
people
stuff.
want you to say something right away. You know, but when people are coming at you saying, "Hey, you're not paying. You're dumb. You don't know. You know, you don't want to answer people, especially if
you're afraid you'll get it wrong in answer.
And it is a pain in the butt. I have to tell you. So sometimes people get it wrong, and they're wrong. They made a mistake. They were wrong. It happens. Anybody who says it doesn't happen to every one of us, multiracial or not, we all do it. So, okay, a little grace for the girl.
Wow. Interesting turn of events we have here. Whoopi actually defends Janet Jackson. So kudos to Whoopi for coming to her senses in some capacity. So it just shows, honestly, this shows that The View is full of crap. During my deep dive prior to recording this video, I came across this little gem that you guys might find interesting. Candace Owens actually does a full deep dive. Shout out to Candace Owens for doing a full deep dive on Kamala Harris's background.
Sent to do this interview for a reason, sent to write this profile piece to make it look like Janet is crazy, and of course sent to get the quotation she expected, which was that it's going to be amazing to have a black woman as president because, again, they're signaling to black people, get into line, this is your new Obama, despite any evidence that she is black. And so I actually thought, has anybody really investigated Kamala Harris's genealogy? Like, we just keep being told she's black suddenly, and the media keeps overreacting when people say she's not black. And I can't find any evidence that Kamala Harris is black. So I said, I'm going to pause everything and do a deep dive on Kamala Harris's genealogy. And what I discovered is so shocking. Okay.
I'm ready.
So first, let's start with just Kamala Harris's birth certificate. This is it. This is an authentic copy of it. It's already been discussed. You can see in the corner there that we have highlighted on her mother, is her mother's name is an Indian name, Shailamala Gopalan, and under color or race of mother, her mother has put Caucasian, extremely controversial, but we don't need to focus on the mother because the mother, everyone accepts the mother is not black at all, right? So if she's some part Caucasian, majority Indian, everyone accepts that the mother is not the claim to her Black heritage. It is the father. In the bottom there, you can see that it says that her father's name is Donald Jasper Harris and that the color or the race of the father is listed as Jamaican. Okay. So you can be Jamaican, you can grow up in Jamaica and not be Black. Obviously, it's like Elon Musk, like he was born and raised in Africa. It would be absurd for Elon Musk to say that he was Black because he is not Black. He is a white African.
Good
So I
point.
wanted to go further into Donald Jasper Harris, allegedly born in Jamaica in 1938. He has indicated that someone in his family is Black. So who are his parents? Okay. So this is Kamala's dad, Donald Harris. We're looking now into Kamala's grandparents. The grandparents' names are Beryl Christie Finnegan Harris and Oscar Joseph Brown Harris. So let's start with Beryl. Let's start with her grandmother. This is an alleged photo of Beryl Christie Harris, okay? It is the only one that exists in the public domain, and I want you guys to know that it was presented by Kamala herself. I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay, like where did this photo come from? Actually, Kamala is the one that entered this into the public domain in her book, which is entitled The Truths We Hold, which was published in 2019. So looking at this woman, she looks Black, and she wrote, visiting my paternal grandmother, Beryl, in Jamaica, okay? Now, when I saw this, I assumed it was a fake photo, and I assumed that somebody had put it up other than Kamala, because just doing a very brief search, and then I quadruple checked this across multiple websites, genealogy websites and genealogists, that can't be Kamala's grandmother. Let's pull up a picture of her again. That can't be Kamala's grandmother because, at least according to my research, Grandma Beryl died before Kamala was born.
What? What?
And now I want the internet to fact check this with me. This is wild, okay? Beryl was born in 1921 and she died in 1960, okay? I've checked grave sites everywhere. This is it's not exactly a very common name and not an exactly very common place, specifically where she was born, St. Anne's Parish in Jamaica. That would mean that Beryl had Kamala's father when she was just 17 years old in 1938, and she died when she was just 39 years old. The Black woman in that photo is not 39 years old. So this is a major discrepancy, okay?
Whoa.
And this is just a tiny bit of digging. I went, wait a second. Does anybody realize that Beryl allegedly died when she was 39 years old in 1960? That means that Kamala would have been born 4 years after her grandmother died in 1964. 1964 is when Kamala was born. Her grandmother died in 1960. So who is that woman that is in the photo with Kamala, okay? Beryl Finnegan, now looking more into her grandmother, was definitively not Black. Now, how do we know this? Because Beryl, that woman that you just saw, her father was Patrick Alhanasus Finnegan, who was an Irish slaver, okay? So that woman that you just saw, at a bare minimum, has to be half white. An Irish slaver is who her father was. Doesn't look like that. Maybe that Irish slaver married a super duper Black woman. I don't know, but I know that that is not a picture of Beryl, and I know that Beryl is at a minimum half white, okay? Because the father was an Irish slaver. Now, what about Kamala's grandfather? The other side of this, Oscar Joseph Brown Harris is his name. That's allegedly who Beryl married, right? Okay. What I've learned about him, this is the photo that they have produced of him. That's supposed to be her grandfather. What I've learned about Oscar was that he was born in 1914. Brown was his mother's maiden name. His mother was a woman named Christiana Brown, who was known as Miss Chrissy. Christiana Brown's father was also a white Irish slave trader named Colonel Hamilton Brown. That is the white Irish slave trader named Colonel Brown. He married an indentured servant, an Irish woman named Kate Williams, presumably Catherine Williams. And let me tell you how wealthy her family was. Colonel Hamilton established the town that they lived in. It was called Hamilton Town. It's now called Brown Town. And he owned, at a minimum, 1,120 slaves, according to records. Okay. So they were a family of wealthy Irish slave traders. But now let's go back to that photo again. Who is this with
Who is
Kamala
that?
Harris that is wrongly assumed to be her grandmother? Again, you guys can fact check me. I was going, this is just weird. Had nobody noticed this? Well, that woman looks an awful lot like a slightly younger version of somebody that we are told is Kamala's great grandmother. Okay. A woman named Aura Iris Finnegan Allen. See, that face looks just like the woman that we just saw, but slightly older. Now let's go back again to that photo of the Beryl, who's definitely not Beryl. Okay. And let's go forward here so you guys can get this in your head. That looks like the same woman to me. Okay.
It does.
But this woman is allegedly her great grandmother, who is known as Miss Iris. Okay. So pull up Miss Iris again, the great grandmother who Kamala is allegedly on her lap. We can all agree that that woman looks to be at least some percentage Black, and it's about to get weird. Okay. So first, just so we are clear, even if this woman was
Yo, are you guys following this? This is bananas. Campaign full of lies. Lies with fries.
100% Black, that would make Kamala majority Irish white. She would be like majority white. So it's completely crazy that she would suddenly claw out and pretend that she's Black. Okay. If she was 100% that woman, great grandmother, if she was 100% Black, that would make Kamala 12% Black under a best case scenario. But I thought, okay, that's Miss Iris. She's saying that's her great grandmother. Let me like verify that Miss Iris was fully Black. And a way to do that would be to take a look at Miss Iris's children, you know? Now, to be clear, she allegedly had 4 children. So we have Kamala's missing grandmother, Beryl, who allegedly died at the age of 39, as well as some of Kamala's great uncles and great aunts. And their names were Abraham Judah Finnegan, Noel Finnegan, and Bernard Finnegan. Okay. So Beryl, the missing grandma, has 3 siblings: Abraham, Judah Finnegan, Noel Finnegan, and Bernard Finnegan. All of these people have apparently evaporated into thin air. Literally cannot find a single trace of these people, who definitely do not have Black names. Okay. And I'm just going, I just want to see a picture here. So I'm going to put a bounty on it. I would like someone to do a little bit of due diligence here. Find me Beryl Finnegan and Beryl's 3 siblings. Okay. A photo, anything, $1,000. You email it to info@CandaceOwens.com, because I am telling you, something is not right here. How did nobody realize that Beryl died in 1960 and Kamala in her book published a photo of a grandparent who she wasn't alive to meet? Okay. Where is the real Beryl? Like a photo of Beryl, a photo of any of Beryl's siblings, literally disappeared without a trace. This is the only reason, okay, that people are convinced that Kamala must have some Black in her family, is because of these alleged relatives. And it's just ironic, because her family is extraordinarily Irish white, extraordinarily wealthy slave owning descendants. And the only reason we have this image in our head, like just like Trump said, suddenly she was Black, is because Kamala's father in 2020, just after Kamala published that photo in her book, Kamala's father in 2020 similarly decided to publish an essay entitled Reflections of a Jamaican Father, where he only included, in all of his white Irish slave owning family, he only decided to include a photo of Miss Iris and Miss Chrissy, who look like the same person to me. Why would he do that? We've got a big old family, got a ton of wealth. Everyone's got a slave. Why did you decide in 2020 to publish a photo of these 2 women, just like Kamala did in her book? I've got question marks. I don't know how it's possible that every time we are electing someone to office, they have a very shady family background, and hers is extremely shady. By the way, Finnegan, there are tons of Finnegans. Okay, so I'm not putting 2 and 2 together here, but that also is Joe Biden's family name, like Finnegans for Joe Biden's family, Finnegans in her family. I wonder if there's a little bit of cross-contamination. Could be, could not be. Like I said, it's a popular last name, but there's something weird here. Okay, Beryl and siblings, huge question mark. I don't know. Abraham Judah does not sound to me like the Blackest person in the world.
Sounds Irish to me. Finnegan.
And I'm going to need you guys to get on it, internet. $1,000 bounty. Email it to info@CandaceOwens.com, especially if you're in Jamaica. Like we got to be able to find something here. Like if these siblings just disappeared into thin air, where's great aunt and great uncle? Where's your great unc? All right, guys, I'm going to pause there.
Oh boy. The plot just gets thicker. Shout out to Candace Owens for doing the investigating reporting. I'm glad she's back on the YouTubes, man. Gosh, I think I might do a little investigating myself to see what's going on with the Finnegans. Let me know what you guys think about all this, because Janet Jackson gets ridiculed. This is a crazy day today. Jackson gets ridiculed. Whoopi defends Jackson, and Candace is exposing the history of Kamala Harris. Woo! Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this shenanigans going on. Smash the like button, share, subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.